Time for another opening here. This one came from Mississippi in November of 2020. We've done a little bit of prepping. Let's see how easy this will be to get out of the bag. Apparently not very. There we go. Alright, unlike yesterday's, this is, or the previous one, this appears to be fairly well protected. Complete with your Charlie the tuna to go. Bobbing around. Did a very nice job protecting it, make sure it wasn't damaged. And then it's inside another bag after that. Which, while I appreciate the protection, it is not the easiest in the world to do all of these, to do a live opening. But then again, it probably wasn't intended that way, was it? Apologies for that. As you can see, even moderate prepping in order to keep the surprise. Okay, I think we have it finally after all that. And we have the 1989 All-American Bowl between Duke and Texas Tech, the now defunct All-American Bowl. And this was not an easy program to find in good shape. This is not only Texas Tech wins this game, but this is the last game of Steve Spurrier as Duke head coach, as he moves to the Florida Gators at the end of this game. This will be another one-handed one because this is a tightly bound, I don't want to break the binding on it, but it'll take one hand. Duke and Texas Tech, there's the Tech mascot, the masked rider, and the always familiar Duke Blue Devils, who familiar if you're a basketball fan, as a football fan maybe not so much. Both these teams are ground bound, apparently. Randy Cuthbert of Duke and Clifton Winston, who, okay, I didn't remember Clifton Winston. He must have been the blocking back. James Gray was the big rusher on the Tech team of that year. There's the quarterbacks. Dave Brown, one-time Giant, first-round pick for Duke. Jamie Gill for Texas Tech. Pass defense. This is not very easy to open and hold at the same time. This is what makes it in such great shape is what makes it difficult to hold open. Scoring defense. A look back at the 13 previous All-American Bowls. It's more than a game. And it talks, there's a little bit about Duke and their road to Birmingham. Let's try it like this and see if this is a little easier. Yep, there you go. Duke head coach Steve Spurrier. This would be his last game at Duke. Texas Tech would win this game. Clarkston Hines, who spent a little bit of time in the World League of American Football. Billy Ray. Duke assistant coaches. Rich McGeorge, a former Green Bay Packer tight end, appears to be the only familiar name. I think Carl Franks was a Tampa Bay Bandit under Spurrier. Let's see how many Duke players that are familiar. Like I said, there was Dave Brown, former Giants first-round pick at quarterback. He was first-round pick, but never really turned out as well as the Giants hoped. And there's Clarkston Hines again. Quentin McCracken, I think, played for. That name sounds familiar. I'm thinking it's maybe the CFL. Okay. The Duke alphabetical roster, and there's the always helpful insert with the starters and both teams' rosters. It's a mutual broadcasting system. You get a radio for all of the bowl games back then. The food importing. Congratulations to Texas Tech. Now we get to the Tech part. Tech's road to Birmingham. One of the things nice here is for this in this particular program, they went to each team and got people from their area to or businesses from their home areas to buy spaces. And there's Raider Red from Lubbock Power and Light. Always loved the cartoons of Raider Red. Spike Dykes, who was the head coach at Texas for quite a few years. His son Sonny is now the head coach at SMU. There's Texas Tech star running back James Gray. Now let's check the Tech assistants out and see if any of these guys have moved on to bigger and better things. None that I see. And how about the Red Raiders? How many of these may have went on to be bigger and better? Kicker Lynn Elliott might be remembered infamously if you're a Kansas City Chief fan. He's the fellow that missed 3 or 4 field goals in a playoff loss to the Indianapolis Colts at home. Okay, and there's our first problem with this, which I was all ready to say, super nice shape. There's Anthony Lynn, who was just recently fired as the Los Angeles Chargers, head coach. Yeah, this is the first piece of damage that I've seen, and it looks like it's a printing problem, because if you see, there's way too much of the paper here that the print didn't quite catch it when it was coming off the roller, so that wasn't anything that the original owner did. That was just came off the roller the wrong way. I'll have to decide whether I want to fold that back up or cut it off. Over here, though, the rest of the Red Raiders. Sammy Walker, I think, had a brief NFL career as a defensive back. We'll fold this back up for now. This is last year's All-American Bowl with a guy you may remember named Emmitt Smith, as Florida beat Illinois 14-10 in what was sure to be a barn burner. Smith ran for 159 yards and both Florida touchdowns, so I imagine that was probably an easy decision. There's the announcers live on ESPN. Wayne Larrabee, who for years was on radio, I think, of both Green Bay and the Bears, I think, at different times. and former Duke star Ben Bennett, and a young guy on the sidelines you might know now as Chris Fowler, who's the top play-by-play man for ESPN for college football. And over here is the Radisson Hotel, a new name coming to Birmingham. Mrs. Stratton Salads, an All-American favorite. Never heard of it. Jefferson County, after Jefferson Davis. I'm sure that's one that's worn well with the test of time. And there's officially licensed for Duke and Texas Tech. And the Alabama Hall Museum with Alabama coach Bear Bryant and Auburn coach Shug Jordan. Some game records. And there's one of our favorite things, the All-American Collectibles. You could have got an All-American garment bag for $18. An All-American watch for $65. Yipes, that's kind of stiff for 1989. I would, if I was buying that watch today for $69, I would go, Official cap, sweatshirt, and gym bag. I always like looking at those because they're always it's interesting to see what was available at particular times. This is the layout of Alabama's Legion Field, in Birmingham, Alabama, which used to be the all-time home of the Alabama-Auburn game before they began moving to campus sites, and was the first few years the home of the SEC championship game before the Georgia Dome and then its current predecessor, the whatever the hell dome, was built. And then Bryan Foods, the flavor of the South. So there's our All-American Bowl program. No backup time needed today. So pretty nice. You can't complain about the packaging. And with the exception of that one printing error, it's in really good shape. The binding's tight. Very few complaints on this one. Only thing I'll have to do is decide, do I want to trim that paper piece off, or do I want to just keep it folded like that? Okay, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Pass us along to anybody that's interested in whatever the hell it is we're doing here. And we'll be back tomorrow and or next time with snow on the horizon again. We may have time to do a bonus episode, all things depending. Thanks for watching, and catch us next time.